If you're an environmental contractor and you think your general liability insurance has you covered, you're probably wrong. This is one of the most expensive mistakes I see contractors make. Because when a claim hits, that's when you find out what your policy doesn't cover. In this video, I'm going to break down the difference between general liability and environmental liability and what contractors consistently get wrong, because understanding this one distinction could save you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Let's start with the assumption most contractors make. They think, I have general liability, so I'm covered. But here's the reality. General liability is designed for standard risks, things like property damage, bodily injury, basic job site incidents. But what it is not designed for is pollution. And here's where it gets dangerous. Most general liability policies have absolute pollution exclusions. That means if your work involves, you're stepping into a category that your policy likely excludes entirely. Mold, asbestos, hazardous materials, contaminants, waste removal. So if something goes wrong, you're exposed. Let me give you a simple example. Let's say you're doing a mold remediation job. During the process, spores spread to another part of the building. Now the client has a bigger contamination issue than before. They file a claim. You go to your insurance company, and they deny it. Why? Because it falls under pollution-related damage, which your general liability policy excludes. That's the gap, and that gap is what puts contractors out of business. So what actually covers this? That's where environmental insurance, specifically contractors' pollution liability, CPL, comes in. This policy is built for your real-world risks. It covers things like, in other words, the exact risks your general liability policy avoids: pollution events, environmental cleanup, third-party injury from exposure, property damage caused by contaminants. Now here's another layer most people miss. Even if you're not a full environmental contractor, you can still have environmental exposure. If your work disturbs contaminants, you own that risk. So this isn't just for specialists. It applies to demolition contractors, remodelers, HVAC contractors, plumbers, and anyone working in older buildings. If there's potential exposure, there's potential liability. Now let's talk about the biggest mistakes I see. Mistake number 1, assuming general liability is enough. This is the root problem. Mistake number 2, not reading the exclusions. Most policies clearly exclude pollution, but no one checks. Mistake number 3, buying based on price. Cheap policies almost always come with tighter exclusions. Mistake number 4, working with the wrong agent. Environmental risk is specialized. If your agent doesn't understand your operations, they're not structuring your coverage correctly. And mistake number 5, waiting until a contract requires it. By then you're reacting, not protecting. Here's the bottom line. General liability and environmental liability are not interchangeable. One covers basic job site risk. The other covers the risks that can actually shut your business down. If you're doing any kind of work involving environmental exposure, you need both, structured the right way. So here's what I recommend. Go to the link in this description and review what proper environmental contractor coverage should look like. Or if you want a faster path, book a call directly. We'll walk through, no pressure, just clarity. What you do, what you currently have, and where you're exposed. Because the worst time to find a coverage gap is after a claim. And fixing it now is a lot cheaper than fixing it later. Thanks for